Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me right now is Margaret Brodie. She's the CEO of Rubicon Organics. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you, ROMJ on the TSX Venture and ROMJF on the OTCQX. And Rubicon Organics will be presenting at our upcoming investor conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vegas, in partnership with MicroCap Club, taking place April 22 through 24, 2025 at the Paris Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. For more information, to meet Margaret, to see her presentation in person, or to do a one-on-one, please register on our website at planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Margaret, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, actually. We've had some good news in our business, and the weed is growing, and spring is coming, and I get to go to Vegas and meet all of you very soon. So, no complaints.
Absolutely. Well, listen, the weed never stops growing, right? Like it should become an
It's a
axiom at some
weed.
point, right? It should just be an axiom at some point, just like the weed will always keep growing. The day goes by, but time
Absolutely.
passes, but the
And
weed.
hey, you know what? There's a lot of stress in the world right now, and people need good weed. So,
Oh
yeah,
man, that is
yeah,
hilarious. Well, Margaret, it's great to have you on here. It's been a few months since
yeah.
we first did our first interview together. So for those that before we do the update, all that good stuff, for those that don't know the Rubicon story, can you give us that quick overview of the company?
Absolutely. I'm always happy to talk about our company. And you know, what people don't realize is there's energy that's occurred and has come back into the Canadian cannabis industry that's not yet showing up in the market. Rubicon Organics is Canada's number one premium licensed producer. We have over 6% market share in the premium category with our three flagship brands, Simply Bare Organic, 1964 Supply, and Wildflower. We're based here in Delta, BC, which is Vancouver, and we're listed on the TSX-V as an OTCQX and under ROMJ and ROMJF. We are the world's leading scaled and premium organic cannabis company, and we hold unique IP. What makes us a bit different than most? We had an almost clean sweep of what's called the Kind Awards, the Oscars of Canadian cannabis this year, winning Brand of the Year, Flower of the Year, Vape of the Year, Hash of the Year, Topical of the Year, Edibles of the Year. Why this matters is it's because it's voted on by bud tenders, not just, we can't go in there and seed it ourselves. And the year before, we'd won Company of the Year and People's Choice Best Weed. We're into our third year of profitability. We've got a proven platform of premium brands where we can launch off of. In 23, we launched the first live rosin edibles into the Canadian legal market, and we now have 30% market share of that market. Now, last year, we said we're going to go out, we're going to launch vape. Off the power of our brand strength, we went from a standing start in May when we launched to 55% national distribution, winning Vape of the Year and Product of the Year, New Product of the Year at the Kind Awards. And look, vape has a long way to grow. It's only 16 to 17% of the Canadian market, and the US is about 30%. Our vape wins because of the quality of what we do. If you come to Rubicon any day, you're going to hear the word quality every day, all the time. That's how we want to win, and it's quality in, quality out in everything. So, look, in the last couple of years have been quiet for investors. We've been focused and disciplined. We've been building our business, laying foundations, refinancing our balance sheet. We've got industry leading debt at 6.75%. We've had some dry powder, and I know we're going to hopefully talk about the acquisition we just announced.
Let's go right there. So, like I said, we last did an interview together, I guess about 5, 6 months ago now. We put that on September 2024. So let's get that update. Tell us about the acquisition. We're recording this just for context, everybody. We're recording this on March 12th, 2025. I believe you did the acquisition or officially announced it
We announced the
March
acquisition.
3rd.
Yeah, it's not yet closed. So there's some work to do, and we've announced that the
Okay.
acquisition is going to close in Q2. But look, what it does is it brings almost 50% increase in capacity to our business. But the price is incredible. It's 4.5 million Canadian dollars. It's an incredibly strategic purchase because it's an hour and a half from our existing facility, an hour if you're really fast. And we will have about 15,500 kilos of premium cannabis, BC bud, as it's known, that those who know. But it means that our existing operational team can get it up and performing quickly. The facility stopped producing last spring. Everything's there. We're going to put a little bit of money into it, not a lot, and we should have first harvest in 25. Why does this matter? It matters because there is a massive supply constraint that's happening globally right now in cannabis in the legal markets. So the medical markets around the world are turning on and they're sucking up anybody who couldn't, who struggled to compete in getting brand on shelf in Canada, et cetera. they've pivoted their business to international, and that means that anybody who is using contract manufacturing, unless you had long-term supply contracts locked up like we do, you're going to struggle to get supply. And so we're already starting to see that. We see it in the market, the freneticism around getting supply.
Very interesting. I'd love to learn a little bit more. How did this come about? Were you actively looking for another cultivation center?
Well, we're a public company. We're always looking to grow. And we got asked a lot about the cash that was been sitting on our books for the last 2 years. And I always said we will be opportunistic, and we were. We saw this facility come up. It was the right facility at the right time at the right price. And our business had gone through, the refinancing in our debt. We did the things in the last couple of years. We put an ERP system in place, get ready for growth, get ready for what's to come. While the industry was on the down, we were building. We were focused and building and launching into new segments and building our brands. And now, we've looked at a lot of facilities, I can tell you. I think there's more yet to come on Rubicon. I have ambitions much higher than where we are, but this is the first step of that. And look, we have proven that scaled organic cultivation can work. This facility will not start out organic. It'll move into our 1964 brand, which is a premium brand, but will really increase our profitability in 26. And that coupled with some of the cost saving initiatives we have, I think the run rate we're going to get is exciting. I'm not going to guide on what that is today because we haven't closed the transaction yet. But there's more to come from us. And I think if you look at the Canadian landscape, it's a fascinating moment. We've gone through that hype curve of highs and lows. We're witnessing the resurgence of the winners. And, I think there's the hype curve that's going to get steeper and more sustainable because of the growing international demand. But if you're not winning in Canada and you're not in shelf in Canada, good luck getting back on.
Very interesting. So I want to hit on this one last thing or I have another question after this, but you mentioned also at the very top that it seems like investor appetite for Canadian cannabis is somewhat resurgent,
I don't
reluctant
know
to
if the
say
investor appetite
fact
yet.
or not yet. Okay.
I think the value investor is finding it. A company like ours is, trading at less than asset value, and we've got positive working capital and we're profitable. So those are unique circumstances as these assets are going to be demonstrated, in my view, to be more valuable, and supply is going to be more value over the next 2-3 years. It's going to be interesting to see if the market catches up. I think, demonstrating our performance through profitability over the next 18 to 24 months, we're gonna see that, and then we're gonna see that there's real assets sitting here and there's real profitable businesses. It's exciting. It's interesting in contrast to where the U.S. businesses, which the U.S. Cannabis is, because it hasn't had that legalization yet, which means in an environment that we're in right now with trade wars, et cetera, and that's happening on March 12th. It might all be over tomorrow because we've all lived this for 6 weeks, but it's a new customer for Canada from a GDP perspective, and that's actually something very attractive. So I'm hoping to continue to do some lobbying to get some changes to loosen up some rules so that we can move a little bit faster and put more innovation in.
Very good. All right, final question for you here today, Margaret. From what you can tell us, what would you say are some additional value catalysts or things that folks should be paying attention to with regard to Rubicon for 2025?
Well, you're going to see some new genetics coming from us. They're going to drop in the second quarter. That's tremendous. The market doesn't yet understand the importance of genetics and new news and being on the leading edge. But the industry certainly does, and the consumer does. And this is all driven from the consumer. That's how we win. We want to satisfy their needs. Secondly, closing hope, getting it operational. Very big. And then we're going to look to deliver some cost savings probably in the second half and the latter half of the second half, because there's some work to do between now and then. We've been focused on getting the right quality product to market, and then we're going to drive down and grind on costs. So yeah, look, we're raring to go.
All right, Margaret, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on Rubicon Organics?
You can absolutely find us, www.rubiconorganics.com. You can reach out to IR at Rubicon Organics. We've just uploaded a new deck, so you can find it there. And you can come to Planet MicroCap in Vegas. Come see me. We'd love to meet.
Absolutely. Well, Margaret, thank you so much for joining me here today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I'll see you in Vegas.
You got it.